Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Berri Cricket Club YouTube channel. And throughout season 2025-26, we as a club have decided to launch a YouTube channel to engage with our fellow fans of the club, and also to bring you some meaningful content, especially throughout this season. And it's going to be exciting. So make sure you subscribe to the Berri Cricket Club YouTube channel. And more importantly, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos and any of the shenanigans that go on in season 2025-26, because there's bound to be some shenanigans, but also some good cricket as well. And hopefully we can see Berri go to the top of the mountain in Riverland Cricket and hopefully lift up the cup at the end of the season. That is the plan, at least. We shall see. Cricket's a funny game, as we know. So, as I said, we've launched a YouTube channel, but to kick off the YouTube channel, or to christen it, if you can use that word, we might as well do a season preview of the 2025-2026 season. Talk about how this season is going to go for Berri. And joining me are two experts in that field, obviously. Joining me is Nathan, of course, the president and player himself of the club, and also our captain of the A-grade side, Reese. Welcome, Nathan and Reese. It's good to have you on board.
Cheers. Yeah, thanks, Jack. Thanks for having us, mate. And thanks for setting this up as well.
Well, no worries. Well, it's a pleasure to have you guys on to talk about this season and talk about what's going to be expected of the club this season. And I'm sure everyone watching and listening will feel the same about that as well. So, Nathan, Reese, let's get straight into it and preview the season this year for 25-26 in the Riverland. It was meant to start this week. As we record this video on a Monday, the 6th of October, the season was meant to originally start this Saturday on the 11th, but unfortunately it's been delayed for another week. So we have to wait another week before the season starts. But anyway, we can preview the season today, talk about what's going to happen. So before we do that, Nathan and Reese, let's talk about last season, 2024-25 season. Didn't quite go to plan towards the back end of the season, it had to be said. The team qualified for the finals, which is a great achievement. You know, it's a pass mark for any club in any sport to qualify for the finals. But unfortunately, didn't quite get the job done and went out in straight sets, if we can use that tennis vernacular there, which is not good. You know, it was a season full of ups and downs and inconsistencies with bat and ball. I think, Nathan and Reese, you would agree with that. There were some good performances with the bat at times, but then other times, not so much. And then the bowling side of things, a bit up and down. So, Nathan, Reese, what are your, thoughts and summary on last season? Where did it go right? Where did it go wrong? And what we need to do as a club going forward this season, because last season will provide a good platform to build on going into this season. But your thoughts on how last season went? So one of you can kick it off.
Yeah, Reese, did you want to take over just the whole situation?
Yeah,
and then I'll chip in when I can.
Yeah, so obviously, last year we had a fairly decent season most of the year. We finished the season minor premiers, which was really good for the second year in a row. Obviously, year before Nathan was captain, so sort of took on where he left it and tried to improve from that, but ended up, losing both the finals, which we just need to get better in those pressure situations. We've spoken about this as well. That we just want to use the words "want the moment" and want to be in the battle when we can. Some blokes just, I guess, especially batting in the middle order or top of the order, just got a bit stuck. Couldn't really find a way to keep the score ticking over, or when we threw them the ball, some blokes just struggled a little bit to execute their skills. So we have had a very young side the last few years, with quite a few juniors coming up. So I mean, they're all a year older now, and hopefully this season they can all mature into some good senior cricketers, and we can go that next step.
Yeah, definitely. Nathan, your
Yep.
thoughts on last season?
Like Reece touched on, with the season before when I was finishing up as captain, it was a pretty close final we had. I think we only lost by 10 or so runs, I think, in the end. And I was out there for that middle, when we couldn't get the runs. We should have got there in the end. But, those moments do make or break your character, I guess, and the way you play cricket as well. So I think that was a massive learning curve for myself, as well as some of the other young guys that maybe didn't get the opportunity to win it, or potentially didn't get to stay out there long enough to win it themselves. So going into the season after, I felt we did build on some things. We obviously lost one of our better players to playing off in another competition, so we had to find those runs. And I think overall as a club we did very well. I feel that a lot of guys stepped up, and it's just more about consistency. And we've spoken about that for a fair few years now, is that cricket's a really hard sport to be consistent in. And especially when you're in a competition like the Riverland competition, we were training twice a week sometimes, one night a week other times, and it's hard. You can be training the house down, but, you get one good ball on a Saturday and that training means nothing. So I think for the club in general is that if you aren't doing your best in your field of choice, whether batting, bowling, or just specialist, fielder sometimes, is that you pick up the slack in other areas that you potentially aren't good at. So if you didn't make any runs for the day, then you make sure your ball doesn't get through you for fielding, or you make sure you take that catch. It's all about the 1%ers. So I feel like Reece said, all the young boys are another year older now. And that will make a massive difference in their experience. Most of these boys are still under 20, and we're asking them to be, strong men playing senior cricket. It's not an easy thing, and we've all been through that. It's more the fact that if we can't be great every week, we need to make sure we're good every week. So
yeah, that's hopefully what you can build on this season, is that consistency. Yeah. And when the team last won the premiership, which was it the 21-22 season? The last.
It was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago now. Yeah, let's just sum it up. It was a while ago. The team's changed dynamics. Different captain, obviously Reece now taken over. Different players are coming through. Younger players, and that experience playing finals, which you touched on a bit earlier. Reece, cost you those 2 finals last season. So it's all about just trying to build, a good culture at the club. Happy environment brings happy cricketers, and hopefully productive cricketers as well. So Reece, as captain, big responsibility. Last season you were captain for the first time. It was a big step up. Challenges, obviously. Anyone who is a captain of any sporting team has a lot of challenges, a lot of things on their plate. You have to set the team culture. You have to set the standards. You have to be a role model for the club, not only at the club, but conducting yourself in a proper manner as well. So what were the major learnings you took out from last season, Reece? Obviously, building confidence into captaincy and wanting to improve as a leader and a captain. So what are the big lessons you've learned from last season that will put you in good stead for this season in a lot of areas?
A lot of it was communication with the boys, making sure everyone was on the right page and everyone was knew what I expected of them, and was trying to just keep the message clear and the same to each person, whether they were a batsman, bowler, or if they were sort of middle order that would get a few overs in the with the ball as well. Just as long as everyone sort of knew where they were standing, I'd like to sort of keep that. On field, I had Marty Sumner help me out quite a bit. He's our wicket keeper and was also the vice captain last year, and we'll probably do the same thing again this year. He helped me out a fair bit with fielding positions and stuff like that, and we sort of worked together with the team and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'd just really like to keep the communication up with the boys and make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, that's right. Messaging. It's important to have a clear message and not cloud anyone's judgment. Are you a type of captain, Reese, that likes to include everyone? You know, many captains are like that. We've seen that in international cricket, have a lot of ideas, or do you like to have, you know, less people, so to speak?
Yeah, I'd
Not
prefer
cluttering
just
with judgment.
yeah, I'd just prefer like myself and Marty, and if both of us don't really agree, then we might bring in a third, whether it's Nathan or we had Wes Frankel help us out a bit last year in the leadership group. So whether we depends on what the situation is, we bounce off the individuals that we need to.
Yeah. So that's good to hear. Any inspiration from your captaincy, Reese? Who do you look into international cricket? People like Pat Cummins, Ben Stokes. You'll be fighting it out for the Ashes later on this year. If both of them are fit and able, they seem not to be able to do that. Especially Ben Stokes, he's the bionic man. But boy, he's one stubborn cricketer too. So what sort of inspiration, or the person behind me on the poster, if you're watching this on YouTube, Ricky Ponting, captain of Australia himself. So who have been the captains you've looked at, Reese, in terms of people that you can get inspiration from?
Yeah, growing up, I really enjoyed the way sort of Michael Clarke went about it on field. He was a very tough cricketer and performed himself, so I like that. But also a bit more of a local level. I like the way that Brad Rosie, did it for so many years, just being able to perform himself, but try and get the best out of the others around him. So,
yeah, no, that's good to hear. Nathan, your thoughts on Reese's captaincy and playing under him? So your perspective from that point of view?
No, Reese has been really good for us, and I tapped him on the shoulder the year that I was going to be captain. I asked Reese if he wanted to do it then, and he wasn't ready yet. So that year, I mean, Reese would know my captaincies. I expect a fair bit out of people, and I show a lot of passion as well. Reese has taken on, and it's just added another string to his bow. He's done really well, and I think he's going to be the captain for however long he wants to be. Or obviously, if there's someone else wants to step up, like we always have a discussion within the group of the boys as well. Like it's not just instant, captaincy every year.
Yeah.
So the fact that everyone's keen for Reese to do it again shows that he's a great leader, and he's got good potential to go further at being such a young age or still is now. So. Yeah, I think he's been a great leader so far, and hence why, I was trying to get him before I did it, before I went back to do it. So,
well, you're getting a bit old, Nathan.
Yeah,
you're like, this young man's game now, cricket. I'm too old. Right. People call me grandpa in the team.
Yeah,
time to move on.
That was my old man, but not anymore.
Well, yeah, definitely. So it's always good to bring in the younger players in to get that energy and rejuvenate an older side, probably. And that's what's happened over the last few years with the club. The style, Reese, the style of play. What's Berri's style of play? For those who haven't seen Berri play before, in terms of maybe watching some games, if you had to describe the style, like we see it in all different cricket teams around the world, Pat Cummins' particular style when he captains Australia, they do things pretty traditional and basic. Whereas with Ben Stokes, he's more ambitious and wanting to get a move on and do things his own way with baseball and all that stuff. So what's your style, Reese? And the team style? What's the style of play you're trying to get the team playing?
I'd bit of a hard question. I sort of like making.
It will make you think, at least, Reese. It will make you.
Yeah, think. It does. I sort of like being versatile with us. Not sort of stuck to one style, and sort of work off different opponents in the Riverland are completely different, whether we're versing a Mallee side or whether we're versing a sort of more of a local Riverland A-grade side, I guess you call it. So sort of trying to find the Mallee are very both Mallee teams. Well, this year it'll just be the Perilla and Lamoureux side, but they're more aggressive and score very high. So we got to try and when if we bat first, we know we have to be aggressive and get a big total up so we can defend it. And if we bowl first against one of those sides, then we just have to try and restrict it a bit and be aggressive against some of their better batsmen, trying to get them out, but then knowing when we go, all right, we got to sort of restrict boundaries now and try and lower the score. Whereas against the Riverland side, I like to try and be a bit more aggressive and get higher totals, obviously, when we're always batting first. And, when we bat first, we try and get as high as a total as we can and go from there.
Yeah. Nathan, you want to add on to what Reece said there?
Yeah, it's very important that we be, like we're saying, versatile, because some weeks we could, bowl the team out for 140, but then we might be 5 for 60 ourselves. So it's the hard part of cricket, is trying to be, like I was saying, consistent before. But realistically, in this competition, if you hold your catches, you normally win. It's just a simple thing of cricket, is that there's no one in this competition that's 100% going to make a 50 or 100 by hitting the ball on the ground. They're going to give you chances. Being a 40-over game is quick. So, like Reece said, versing the Mallee sides, we always had to try and make quick runs. And speaking of the upcoming season, normally we'd be playing round one down the Mallee somewhere, because none of the turf pitches are necessarily ready. So round one is always a tough one for us. We've played, I think, the Mallee like the last 3 seasons in a row. We've started down there, and it's always either chasing like a quick total on a hard wicket. So it's a very, you're not get an easy start to the season. It's straight into the furnace. So, what Reece was saying is that there's no real, blueprint to win a game here in the Riverland or in the RTCA competition. It's you rock up on the day, you hope you bowl well, you hope you hold your catches, and if you make, 130 plus, 140 plus, you're in for a look. So,
yeah, no, that's the thing, isn't it? It's the simple things in cricket, the basics. Resorting to cliches as we always do. Catches win matches, and 1 wicket brings 2, and all that stuff. You roll them out every game. But yeah, that's very true, Nathan. That's very true, and it's important to make sure that you're adaptable, and that's what you got to do in cricket. Really, adaptability is the important thing, and with the over the last few years, in terms of the competition as a whole here in the Riverland, has the standard got better, or has it, gotten a bit lower over the last few years? So your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been around a while now, and played a lot of senior cricket when I was 15, 16, playing for like Monash, then moving to Berri. There was always like 2 or 3 players at every club that was like, top of the level in the competition, which every team had at the time. And I'm not saying that's not true now. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of guys making probably some interesting scores that don't warrant the kind of style of play. So like guys are hacking it to certain areas of the grounds and making big scores. Whereas back when I was younger, I felt like I watched a lot of good cricketers make good runs by playing good cricket shots. So I think the standard's just adapting to what we're seeing these days with like 2020 cricket and these fast games being played, like the what's it called, the T10 or whatever it is over in
T10,
whatever it is in the UK. So
kids the 100. Sorry, the 100.
100, yeah.
Sorry.
So kids are watching that, and also, I just don't see as many traditional cricket shots being played anymore. So it's really hard to determine if it's the competition's gotten worse or people are just being more reckless with their shots. There's been some good cricketers around. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think, there's probably some teams that we're looking at their senior sides and going, probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, these guys would be the rotation players,
Oh, yeah.
So that's not a knock on anyone. It's just the way the competition's gone, and people aren't involved as much anymore. So you play what's in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. I think we can blame Glenn Maxwell for that, with his outlandish shots. Jeez, some of the shots he played in that World Cup match against Afghanistan a couple of years ago, without any legs, is unbelievable. They're divine physics. How on earth he did that, I don't know. It's worth a good look for those who are interested. But yeah, you can blame him. You can blame other people as well for bringing in those outlandish shots. And maybe you could blame England. We have to have a little dig at England, of course, because the Ashes at the end of the year. But,
I was done too well for him. But yeah.
Well, yes, but they haven't won anything significant.
No, that's right.
So
And it's not really exciting, I don't think. So
no, but I suppose that has an influence on how people play, I suppose. And international cricket's like that, and especially at community cricket, like as you touched on, Nathan, is that people will, especially younger players, will tend to do that. Do you have to rein them in, Reese, at training if they play some slogs or some big shots in the nets and say, "Get your head down"? Play it along the ground.
I think Nathan's one yelling at me most of the time. There is a few times of I look at the end of the net and there's only one bowler left. I go, oh, all right, hang on.
Yeah, I got
but yeah, but no, there is a few of us that, especially sort of in our middle order, that are quite aggressive batsmen naturally. So I encourage them all to practice their shots in the nets, because the aggressive shots are ones you have to practice as well. Otherwise, you can't. They just don't happen. So but just knowing in a net session when the time is to practice them and when the time is to sort of just knock them around and play a bit more safe in the nets, depending on what the bowlers are like, and I guess what time of the net session it is as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I suppose it's important to use training wisely, and
correct.
For players to practice certain things with their batting and bowling, and even their fielding as well, and try and do that, which is so important, really. In terms of players who impressed you last season, guys, who were some of the players that impressed you and who did pretty well in terms of their season, and obviously looking forward to this season, who are some of the players that are going to make an impact? So we'll start with you, Nathan, on that, and then Reese, you can follow.
Just from our club, all the young boys are starting to get a bit more confident with their play style, and I guess their abilities as well. So it's hard because I feel like there's no real standout. I think they're all doing really well at the same level. In terms of the older guys, I think Marty had a really good season. He backed up his end of the season before, and he was in that top echelon of the competition. So it wasn't say it was just like I wasn't expecting it from him, because he's such a professional the way he goes about it, and he loves the game and he loves the club. So no, I thought Marty was really good last year. But the thing is, we all had our flashes of good moments, throughout the entire season. Everyone had a moment, but we struggled to capture and continue on the next week. So I think Mitty Cause had a pretty good season. And I think he won Young Player of the Year for the competition. So, Mitchell Cause, yeah, he had a good year, and I think he's got massive potential. And I'm glad he's staying around locally for work, so helps us out for long term as well.
Yes, it definitely does. Reese, your players to look out for, or who impressed you?
Yeah, last year, particularly Marty. I'm just looking at the stats now. He got 443 runs and an average of 40 last year. So,
not bad.
The next highest scorer was 352 runs and an average of 29. So it just shows the difference between Marty and the next best in the league. With the bat last year, he was also our wicket keeper. I think he took 10 catches or something last year. 10 catches and 3 stumpings last year. So, and he's just that energy in the field, just gets everyone running from each end and gets the over rate up. And he's was outstanding last year, and we'll look to do the same thing again this year. Bowling wise, Brad Oakley had a good year. Surprisingly, he took 32 wickets, an average of 10, which is bizarre. But yeah, obviously Wayne Scadden again had a great year last year and retired on that. So we're going to really miss his 8 overs a week this year. So just gives another spot for someone else to stand up. And we've got 8 overs to fill each week now. So we do have Brad Rosie coming back this year. So that'll be handy for some runs and fill in some overs as well. But yeah, I'd really like Archie Peltz to have a good year this year. He's a good all-rounder coming up. He just needs to keep working on his bowling and just get a bit more comfortable in the middle when he's batting.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, with young players? Confidence. And cricket is a confidence game. If you have a few games where you don't do so well, then it can knock the confidence around. But if you do well, then it will definitely boost it, that's for sure. So that's promising. So thank you, Reese and Nathan, for that. Nathan, from a basically club point of view, I suppose, we'll talk about that. Being the president, overseeing things, of course, being the head guy. What are your expectations this season as the president? And, what do you want the club to succeed? Not obviously on the field, of course. You want the club to win a premiership. That's the ultimate goal. But hopefully qualify for the finals and do well than last season. I think that's a realistic goal to have. But also off the field in terms of engagement, getting new players in, getting people involved more. What are your expectations for that from an administration sort of side?
We've gone every year. We have a senior side. We haven't had two senior sides for a while now. So obviously, numbers wise, we've got enough to rotate for an A grade side. To get a B grade side again would be pretty awesome, but it's a lot to manage. And most of the time, like the year we actually had a B grade side, it was a lot of guys that were just happy to have a hit, and there was no one really wanted to push for the A grade selection. And then so the guys that are rotating from the A grade were just guys dropping down for the B grade, trying to do the best they could, get lifted up again the next week. So realistically, for long term, I'd like the club this year to build on its social side of things, that we could see ourselves as a bit more of a destination club. That people would go, okay, you know what, Berri are doing this and doing that. Maybe it's a good idea if we go check them out. It seems like it's a pretty upbeat kind of place. So, like, we have unfortunately lost our juniors side this year. So we had a premiership winning side last year that have now moved, majority moved to another club that's just started up again locally. So we've sort of been cut off at the knees a little bit. So we sort of have to rebuild that again. The problem is the jump from juniors to seniors is such a giant gap, especially when you don't have the under 16s anymore. So myself and the A grade boys were helping out with the Woolies Blast cricket that starts in November. So that's a big thing, is that we need to push and find our future talent for the club. And yes, it's going to be under 10s, but that's where you find them. Make them enjoy cricket, make sure that they've had a good time, and, no pun intended, but have a blast. So, if we can get the Woolies Blast doing, and not doing well, but also like thriving, would be really good. And then from our social side of things, I'd just really like to see like more events happen. Now, the same thing happens every year. It's the same people doing the same thing over and over again, as in not organising events, but they're like the same people driving it. Years gone by, I've always been very much like want to be involved to make sure that all decisions are going in the right direction. I'm a bit more lax on it this year. So if boys want to organise a function night, then I'll let them do it, and just make sure you pass it by me before we go, okay, we're doing this. Just to so make it looks like we're going the clubs in the right direction. So that would be a pretty important thing to do this year, would be have more social events, and preferably before final starts, or like before the last round, because we've done that in the past and it's just a massive rush to get things done. And, you're playing in a final the following week. So, and as more of a successful kind of thing on field, I want us to, everybody wants to challenge for a premiership. Everybody wants to get their hands on the cup. So we've won bits and pieces over our time. We've won the premiership a few years ago. We've also won the cross Mallee competition before the Mallee sides joined our competition. So we've had success. But we've always been around the mark. It's just we've always just lacked that last little bit. So all I want to see is our guys enjoy their cricket, for one, but two, strive to be the most professional local cricketer they can be. So when we rock up, that we're doing the right thing, that we're representing the club well, and that so when people do move to the area, they're like, oh, the Berri Cricket Club. Yep, okay. So they're trying to run this program that pushes for grand finals or for like premierships every year, which everyone should be doing. But hopefully it looks like that from the outside. So, pretty much. Yeah. I just want to see I want to see guys enjoy themselves, the club being a welcoming place, and seeing that, we're actually trying to make strides to be the best version of our club, or our club can be.
Definitely. I think that's That's a pretty good plan to have in place there. Any thoughts on that, Reese? You want to chime in with some thoughts on what Nathan said there?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the function side. Try and get more people involved. It's been good. We've had John Pup this year get on board and help out a fair bit with sponsorship. So obviously we thank all the sponsors that have jumped on board as well so far. Hopefully we can get some more as well in the future. And yeah, it's good that the direction the club's going in looks a bit more proactive this season. It's good.
Yeah, definitely. That is the case, and hopefully can bring success on and off the field as well. And you touched on professionalism there, Nathan. Yes, you have to look a cricketer and be professional in terms of how you go about things, administration and on the field stuff as well, and that appeals to people as well. But question for both of you guys, just talk about the broader region in the Riverland here. Do you think cricket in the Riverland's in a good place, guys? Do you think it can do more, or do you think it's around about the same as it has been over the last few years, or do you think there's been an increase? So your thoughts on that, Nathan and Reese?
I think, well, there's been a long question standing for a long time. It's saying, is cricket dying in the Riverland? And I guess the answer is that all we can do is rock up and get the season started every year, because there's local talent and there's some really good local kids. But to say that they stay playing cricket is a whole different story. And I think it's across the board. I think kids get to a certain age and they just lose interest, or they move away. And they're the hard ones to keep. There's a lot of talent there. But I would say that, I'm not sure. Every time we speak to Saka, it's not exactly going awesomely well. But I think they are building, and it all comes down to the volunteers, like people like myself and Reese and the rest of the club, the committee. If we're not around, there's no club. And normally, if you're a player, you're involved in the committee as well. It's a very small circle. And that's why I think there's so much emotion, especially with some of the older guys as well. Like, in recent speak on this, we had a few guys last year realize that how scarce it can be to get to a premiership, and the road there is quite a long one if you aren't lucky. Like, obviously, there's a lot of luck in cricket as well. So you have to take those opportunities. And so some people are built for it, some people aren't. So rocking up every week, playing in the heat, it says 38 on a Friday night, so you're good to play, and you rock up and it's 41 on Saturday. Like, it's not easy. And people would rather be out in the boat, or some people down the river swimming. There's so many other things you could be doing. So I can understand why people step away from cricket. But the true lovers of cricket will go out there because they understand how hard it is to be successful at cricket. So the broader question is like, what can we do as a club to continue the RTCA to grow and to have a welcoming club for other people to continue their cricketing career? Because I feel like potentially there could be another 10 years and then we're looking at a 2020 comp and that might be it, which would be a shame.
Yeah, no. Let's hope it doesn't get to that. But you made some good points there, Nathan. Some home truths, but reality as well. And I suppose that's the same in all country areas, not only just here in the Riverland, but around Australia as well for cricket. It's often one of those sports that do struggle for numbers and all that stuff and exposure. Reese, your thoughts on what Nathan had to say? Maybe you want to add some other thoughts as well?
Yeah, I think it's with the Mallee folding a few years ago and joining our league, was going the right direction. This year with the Mallee Bushrangers having to pull out, it's not dropping back a bit, but I guess it just shows the difficulty for every team. 3, 4, 5 years ago, we had a B grade team and had to drop that out as well. So, some clubs are struggling, but then you see other Renmark and Loxton both have A grade, B grade, especially Renmark. They've got A grade, B grade, and then full set of juniors. So there is clubs that are managing to do it. It'd be good to see us get to back to that one day. But it's just going to be a long road because going from one team to two, you need a lot of people in one season to join the club. So realistically, you probably need 25 plus to make it worth it. Whereas right now, I think we've sort of got 13 to 14 on our list, so we probably need another 10 people to rock up in one season to get there. But yeah, I just hope every club has a crack and always keeps trying to fill a side, and hopefully the league will sort it out and just keeps going along for the younger people to come through and keep playing cricket.
Yeah, no, that's I totally agree with that, Reese. Absolutely, because you don't want to rock up and one team has to forfeit and then you win points because of that. You don't want to do that. You want to have a competition and you want to earn it. Not gifted to you, which some cases it does, but other times you want to earn it and have a competition there. So Nathan, in terms of players and that coming back, or how are the numbers looking in terms of players each season coming back and recurring players that want to play? And have you thought about some incentives? Let's be honest, it's community cricket's amateur. Really, you don't get paid. It's considered to be a pastime. That's what cricket was originally back in the day. Bit of a history lesson for those listening and watching. Whereas now international cricket's not a pastime anymore, it's a profession. Whereas community cricket still has that strong link to being a pastime cricket and playing on Saturday and Sunday. So people feel less inclined, to rock up and train or play. So have you thought about stuff to incentivize players? Hopefully they're inspired enough to play anyway, in terms of, winning, wanting to win games in a premiership or whatever. Or you thought about other things to, get players back season on season. So your thoughts on that?
Well, the heart of our club at the moment is guys that are legacy players, like they've been around for a long time. So the guys that keep coming back, my dad was 58 when he retired last season, and he's played senior cricket since he was 15 years old. So people like that. Now, none of us, I think there's not much of a chance of all of us playing to 58. But, if there's a lot of guys that I know that played into their 40s, and now they've their kids getting older, so they're trying to bring those kids into cricket. So it comes like into the father-son rule or the father-daughter rule. You're bringing out your kids now after you played for 20 or 30 years. So that's the future of the club, and the reoccurring players are just the ones that have been around for the last 7 or 8 years. The young boys that are coming through were premiership players as juniors and now playing senior cricket for their club. So that's an awesome achievement. Like years ago, you'd had to fight really hard to make it A grade side. Like there might be one or two under 20s playing in an A grade side. Now most teams made up of half their juniors. So yeah, and it's not saying like they haven't deserved their spot. It's just that's what's in front of you. That's how the team plays. That's the competition now. All our guys are really well talented, and it's just now applying their craft and like putting their ability into their specific category rather than just being a broad cricketer. Incentive wise, I find it really hard because we might have like maybe one or two faces new every year that rock up, but they're not 100% committed to cricket. So the truth is, like, how can you give that person a crack at cricket when you've got one A grade side that needs to pick the best side every week? So, like, we had a 2020 competition last year. We had like 2 games or 3 games, I can't remember what it was. And that was good. We could rotate the squad a little bit better there. But, and there will be times when people are away or, weddings are constant throughout summer. So that's when rotations happen. But these people that may rock up and only train once here and there, and they come in there, they don't really take it too seriously. They sort of just throw their bat around, and their bowling, their actions aren't legal. It's hard, because then all of a sudden you've turned it not into a training, it's turned into a coaching session, and there should always be coaching involved, because that's cricket's forever evolving, and you should always try to adapt and improve your technique. But yeah, it is quite tough. So having a B grade would help that. That's a good incentive, having a B grade where they don't have to be as serious and they can have a bit more fun. It's still a serious competition, but it's not as serious as a senior in A grade. So right now it's I feel like it's only the very hardcore cricketers that come out. And then, they have to still, you got to earn your stripes as well. You can't just walk into an A grade club, and even guys that have been well positioned, like Brad Rosie, when he first joined the club back when I was captain years and years ago, he played a 2020 for us. And I said, well, how would you like to play for us full time? He goes, I'll see. And I was batting him at 5 or 6 each week, for the first few weeks. And I was like, oh, this guy can bat. And then I moved him up the order to 3 or 1, So yeah, it's hard. It's hard when, and Reece could speak for this, like when you've had such a close-knit group for like 2 or 3 years, it's hard to just go, oh, we're bringing this new player in, and this guy that's been around for a long time has to miss out, So it's right now, hopefully doing this and maybe, all our other social stuff can, bring more players out, and we might be able to eventually have, like, there's other clubs that do, you get a 5-game season. So you're not guaranteed 5 games, but you don't pay for a full sub. You just pay for half a sub, and that means, you're putting down $100 instead of $230 per season. So
yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah. And definitely cricket's quite expensive, equipment, paying for subs and all that stuff. And times are tough, as we understand now in the world. So that's a challenge as well. Reece, you wanted to add on to what Nathan had to say from a playing point of view, coming back each season? And
yeah, no, he summed it up pretty well. There's mainly it's just the people that have grown up playing cricket for the club that just keep coming back, that haven't really moved away. We've been lucky the last few years. A lot of the young blokes that were playing in the juniors recently, a lot of them have gotten apprenticeships or something, and or are sticking around in the Riverland and not going to uni or going to Adelaide. And I think this year we lose 2 or 3 at the end of this season, so there'll be another 2 or 3 spots next year that we need to fill. But for this season, that's we've got sort of 13 blokes, I think, 13 or 14. So yeah, obviously that number doesn't fit into 11, so there's always going to be a few blokes missing out, which is unfortunate, especially coming towards, well, when we get towards finals time at the end of the year. Just with selection and stuff, that'll be a bit difficult. But I guess all you can say is put your best foot forward at training, and when you get an opportunity and on the weekend, you just got to take it.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. That's what you need to do, really. Just seize those moments, and that's what's going to happen throughout a season, and then that will make the difference at the end of the season, come finals, and hopefully win the whole thing. Well, we've had a very good chat, guys. I think you would agree, Nathan and Reece, about this season. I've enjoyed it, and I'm sure everyone watching and listening has enjoyed it as well. But I thought to end, lads, we'd do a bit of prediction time. We always do predictions for anything. So, first of all, a prediction from your playing season this year. So, Nathan, Reece, you predict how many runs or how many wickets you're going to score this season. And then overall for the club as well, where the club's going to finish and, what's going to happen there. So we'll start with you, Reece. Predictions for your own playing this season, and then for the club, where the club will finish and, how will they go? So off you go.
Myself, well, yeah, I'm sort of a...
Don't be modest.
I'm a batsman. I don't really bowl. I'd like to say, I think I got like 230 runs last year, so I'd like to do better than that. Get somewhere near 300 runs would be nice. As a mark, and I don't know, 5 catches or something like that. 6 catches would be nice.
Century?
that'd be bloody awesome. I would love it.
Maybe a few 50s.
Yeah, I haven't got 100 for 10 years or something like that. So hopefully we can get one of them.
You really need to knuckle down.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get one of them. But no, hopefully I get a few 50s and support the other boys well, and more importantly, win games instead of just my personal performance. But yeah, hopefully we finish top 2. Would be nice. I'm not sure what finals is going to look like this year, but obviously finishing first always gives you your home final to start with. So that's obviously the goal. But yeah, top 2 would be fantastic, considering we've finished minor premiers the last 2 years. So I'd like to stay there, and hey, I'd love to win a final at least this year.
Yes, let's hope. Good predictions here, Reese. Hopefully they come true. We'll probably have to backtrack at the end of the season and see if it came true. Nathan, your predictions from a playing point of view and where the club will finish?
I don't know. Like, if I could stay fit and not dislocate my shoulder again in a 2020, that'd be good. I think I jinxed myself when I was out for a breakfast somewhere with one of my partner's friends in Adelaide, and I made the comment that I was averaging the highest at the moment for 3 rounds in. I was on like 40 something odd, and I was like, I'm feeling pretty good this season. And then dislocated my elbow in the new year, and then I think my next high score was 26, and I finished on under 200 runs for the season. I was on 140 after the first 3 games. So the plan would be to hopefully, there's a few of us Berri boys that had a pretty good season a few years ago, 2 years ago to be in fact. So if we could all get to that, mark of making 300 plus again, that'd be, a great step, a great stride forward. I just want to get to a point where, you can guarantee me to make 25 runs or 20 runs or something like that, which makes a difference, if everyone can average 20, you're looking all right. So yeah, personally for me, if I can make more than 200, I'd be pretty happy with that, because I feel like they'd be consistently done over 12 games. That wouldn't be too bad. Depending on where I'm batting, I'm floating all the time these days, so don't bowl much, and I probably shouldn't with my shoulder. So if I can just hold my catches, that'd be great. And then I reckon, it'd be really good to see us get to a grand final. I'm not saying it's going to happen, we could win it. All I'm saying is to get to a grand final for the boys to experience a senior grand final, I reckon it'd be really awesome from a club's perspective, and also playing, because there's a few boys that are so hungry for it. And I feel like sometimes when you get to that moment, that hunger can spread to the rest of the team, and all of a sudden it's within reach. So
let's hope.
Yeah.
And well, we'll be backpedaling on this as well, Nathan. Just like with Reese, end of the season, we'll see if they come true. Or you will just make
extra pressure now that we don't want to throw
extra pressure. Definitely. Great predictions there, guys, in terms of what's going to happen from a playing point of view for both of you, but also for the club as well standpoint. So good to hear that. So hopefully they come true for your sake, because we will be going back to this at the end of the season. See if they come true. Anyway, it's a prediction. It's all a bit of fun. And that's what cricket's all about as well, having fun and having a good laugh, which we have done today, Nathan and Reese. And it's been great to talk to you about the season, preview the season ahead. Hopefully a new direction for the club in terms of this YouTube channel and for everything else. So once again, thank you, Reese, Nathan, for joining me today to preview the season here in the Riverland for 25-26 for the Berri Club. Good to hear your thoughts on all of what you've been doing behind the scenes and on the field. So it's been great to hear that, and I'm sure everyone listening and watching would like to hear that as well. So make sure you follow us on Facebook, of course. So if you want to check us out, go to the Berri Cricket Club Facebook page. You'll have all the information, updates throughout the season on there. And also head to our website as well. And make sure you subscribe to the Berri Cricket Club YouTube channel, because we're going to post some exciting content on there, hopefully. So you'll see the boys behind the scenes. You'll see the boys doing some things in the dressing room that you would not like to see, for example. But nonetheless, some fun, exciting content there. So make sure you subscribe to that and click the bell, more importantly, so you don't miss out on any videos that we post on there as well. And last but not least, we would like to thank our sponsors for season 2025-26. You know who you are, but we will mention your sponsorship throughout the entire season. And without your sponsorship, we will not be here where we are today as a club. And I'm sure Reese and Nathan would agree with that as well. Sponsorship in any sporting club is so integral and important. So Nathan, Reese, final words to finish up before we call stumps for the day?
Reese, you can go first, mate.
Just hopefully it's a good season, and thank you, Jack, for jumping on with the social media side of stuff this year. As Nathan touched on earlier, we haven't really had someone do that, so should be a good year. And just good luck to all the boys. Hopefully we all have a good season and can start well next week.
Yeah, definitely. Nathan, final words from you?
Yeah, just want to say, thanks, Jack, for reaching out first and obviously setting this up, because I think it's a really good idea to get our brand out there, I guess you could say. And thanks to our sponsors so far. We've got more thanks coming, in regards with like Sponsors Day and stuff like that as well. Plenty of other big events we'll hopefully host over the season as well. And then hopefully we can have more of these episodes and podcasts, just having a chat about past games, talk about, how one of us got a golden duck or, run someone out and barbecued someone. But it'd be also, I reckon, pretty cool to get some of the former players on board as well. So hopefully we can get a bit of content out there for everyone to watch and see what's like from the inside of the club.
Definitely. I think that's pretty good words to end on, guys. And thank you for instilling your trust in me. Obviously, being a player myself, so I haven't played for a few years. Maybe I should get the spikes back on. But
we'll have to talk about that another day.
Yes, we do. But fond memories nonetheless. And that's what it's all about, having fun, talking cricket like we have today, guys. So once again, thank you, Nathan Reese, for joining me. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening, whether it be on Facebook or on the Berri Cricket Club YouTube channel. Until next time, keep safe and bye for now.